brand new spoiler review here on Max Talk Movies. I'm back talking Star Wars, and I'm breaking down the first two episodes of the new show, The Acolyte, which just started on Disney Plus. So welcome everyone back to a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. I talk all things movies, TV shows, box office, so please subscribe. But I'm also a massive Star Wars fan. This is my favorite genre, favorite franchise, I should say, out there in my entire life by far. So I'm very passionate about this franchise. So I can't wait to talk more Star Wars with you over the next month and a half. So let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comment section down below. Did it get off to a good start? Did it get off to a rough start? Are you waiting to watch the show after the season's over, after you hear people's reactions on the show? If you're waiting for my reaction, I would love to hear your thoughts on your process of watching The Acolyte. Is this the right direction for Star Wars, or did this go in the wrong direction? Also, please like the video, the thumbs up button. Also, as my first video, finally doing a review. Since then, I want to congratulate everyone for helping me get to 200 plus subscribers. I'm really happy about it. And a lot of you have been really congratulating me both on social media and in the comment section. So again, thank you. Let's get to 300. So please subscribe and ring that bell. So if you're usually on the channel, or if you're not, once again, I'm going to break this down how we're going to do things for this season of The Acolyte. For Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and the first two seasons of The Bad Batch, I did weekly reviews, which I would break down what happened in the particular episode. When I got into like season 3 of Mando, and then really went to episode by episode, but really when I got into Bad Batch, and most of my TV show reviews now, I just give my general thoughts on spoiler things that I liked or didn't like in the episode. I didn't want to keep breaking down scene for scene, because if you're watching a spoiler review, you know what happened in the show because you watched the episode. I'm not going to just waste 10 minutes of your time by retelling you what happened. Instead, give my thoughts on what I thought went on. Now, this past season of The Bad Batch was season 3, and I stopped doing weekly. I did a halfway checkup, and then I just gave my overall review of the season when it concluded. With The Acolyte, because it's a new show, there's only 8 episodes. I will be doing weekly spoiler reviews every Wednesday here on the channel, as the episodes come out every Tuesday night. So I'll be watching a Tuesday night, sleeping on my opinion, and then waking up and giving you guys a review. So let's get my thoughts on the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte. And overall, I think we're off to a really solid start, in my opinion. I think some people, and it's sad to say, are never going to like this show because it is a female creator in Leslie Headland, who is coming off of creating Russian Doll, which was a very good hit for Netflix, starring Natasha Lyonne, which even earned some Emmy nominations for that show. She also wrote 2 films that I've seen, which is About Last Night and Sleeping with Other People. And obviously it's a female creative lead. It's a female or non-binary as well lead actress or actor in the role. And it's a very diverse cast, which, you know, it's sad that we're at this point now where, and people are just, the people who are going to hate the show are going to hate the show. I think that really sucks. I love diversity. I love that we have a female creator and a female or non-binary lead. I hope the show doesn't get tarnished by people just because they think that, but I want to come out and say that before I get into my actual thoughts on the episode. I enjoyed it. I hate with TV show reviews, you can give a star, but you can't have a final opinion, in my opinion, sorry to say that multiple times, on a show until it's fully complete. And I think when these critics and reviewers, not all of them, of course not, there's some really good critics who I follow who have done reviews on the first 2. Some critics even seen the first 4 episodes, that, you know, the show is either fantastic or awful based on seeing, you know, there's 8 episodes in the seasons, by either seeing, you know, 2 out of 8 episodes, or, you know, a quarter of the season or half the season. I just want to give my general thoughts on how I'm feeling the show's going. And I'm going to say is I enjoyed myself. This show takes place 100 years before Phantom Menace, 132 years before the original New Hope. And I have been kind of getting tired of all of the Star Wars shows taking place in that Skywalker saga time period. Yes, in video games as well as the novels, we've gotten Star Wars before obviously the old, the Republic, the Old Republic, and getting back into these times, pre-Phantom Menace, when the Jedi were kind of these, cool kind of cops, these peaceful times in their eyes, and the Jedi were in their prime, and the Sith were coming back to life. That fascinates me, and I do feel like that Star Wars has been very very focused in on that saga from fitting in the timeline of Phantom Menace and Rise of Skywalker. And right off the bat, I thought it was a breeze that we didn't need to overly connect to anything of the 9 movies and shows that we've gone before. And that for me was a really good fresh start, clean slate, which gives me a very open mind when coming into the show, because for me, I enjoyed myself. I thought the action was very solid. Well, I do think the twin, and again, this is a spoiler actually, before I say that, this is a spoiler review. So if you've not seen the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte, I'm going into full spoiler details on the plot, what gets revealed. So if you've not seen it, please go and check out at the 2 episodes on Disney Plus Hulu, and then come over to here to finish off the review. But it was the very telegraphed, the twin element of the show, because the moment that she's very, we see in the opening moments, obviously May going after Trinity from the Matrix movie, Carrie-Anne Moss. And we saw O'Shea, who's the other version of the twin, the other twin. I was like, this feels like an obvious twin thing, because why would she be waking up in a jolly mood on this ship? And that for me was telegraphed. The really thing that I think is going to get underrated about the first 2 episodes, what the reveal is, everyone's going to be, I think, crapping on the show because they thought that the twin reveal was the ultimate reveal. And yet, yes, I do think that reveal of them being twins was very flat, in my opinion. It was definitely the flattest part of the show. What I did like from a heart perspective with the story was both set of twins obviously had no idea the other twin was alive, and they've gone down this path because they thought the other twin was dead. Obviously, we get the setup that there was a fire in May and O'Shea's area, and I think originally Master Soul said that it was May who started the fire. Someone started the fire, and they believed the Jedi side of it and May's side of it thought that they all died, and May died and the whole family died, and O'Shea was the only one who made it out. They trained her at the temple. She became kind of tired of that livelihood, and then she wanted to do her own thing. At the same time, we also learned May survived the fire, but not just that, she also thought that O'Shea was dead, and that set May on this Jedi revenge path where she's trying to kill these 4 Jedi under this mysterious villain's ways. And what's fascinating about May, who I think is by far and away the best character on the show so far, is that May has to kill these Jedi without using a weapon, a lightsaber at that, or using the Force. Well, you can use the Force, but not a lightsaber, which I find fascinating. She kills, again, as I said, spoilers, May kills Carrie-Anne Moss right away in the first 10 minutes of the episode in Master Indara with a distraction of faking like she's going to kill that bartender, and she kills Indara on that planet to open up the show. Again, I love Carrie-Anne Moss. Trinity is my favorite character of the Matrix of the Matrix franchise. It's sad that they killed her off, but I assume if they're casting Carrie-Anne Moss, and I think we're going to keep flashing back to whatever this fire was and when Indara and Soul picked up O'Shea, that we're going to see Carrie-Anne Moss in multiple more episodes. But if this is it, that would be pretty disappointing. But I don't assume they would cast her in this role just to kind of kill her in the first 10 minutes. Now, I am a big fan of Ben Listenberg, who has not been in the most, mainstream movies since her first appearance in The Hunger Games, way back when she was a very little kid. But when you talk about The Hate You Give, which is a really fantastic movie, and then Bodies, which was in my top 10 movies of that year of 2022, I really like her as the lead. And here, obviously, she is the absolute show. So this is her show that's carrying on her back because she's playing 2 lead characters. They are the 2 main focuses of the show. And I think Stenberg did a fantastic job differentiating them enough here in these first 2 episodes, and that really came to a forefront, with the end of episode 2, where O'Shea and May finally see each other Osha, I keep saying O'Shea. Osha and May see each other for the first time, and that is a tough performance. And I think a lot of people, who have to play multiple characters in movies can always attest to how difficult it is for those type of scenes where you're acting basically with yourself. And I think Stenberg brought out real authentic emotion in both characters that are different but make sense. And I was never pulled out. Obviously that Stenberg's playing both characters. And I thought Stenberg was excellent, especially in episode 2, once obviously the twist of the show happens, which is that they're twins that are running this investigation. I like a Jedi investigation show. I think that's a really solid idea. Lee Jung-jae is excellent, I think, as well as Master Soul. I don't think all the performances and characters have hit. I'm a big fan of Daphne Keane from, obviously, Logan, but also I enjoyed his Dark Materials on HBO, where she was very good. That is a character that I want to hopefully get more out of, that she seems to be like Soul's Padawan. And what's that like when Osha is back into the fray, when Osha was actually Soul's Padawan? I don't want to be a jerk. I'm just gonna say what I think. I haven't loved the Yord character that much. I don't think the performance is that great, and I think the character's very flat. And they didn't give me a good reason why Yord is on this mission. The show has kept some consistency from the prequels, in that the Jedi sometimes are just idiots. And the idea that the Jedi would capture a huge captive here. They think when they capture Osha, when Yord and his apprentice capture Osha, this is someone who killed a Jedi, a former Jedi who killed a Jedi. And Soul has that discussion with Vernestra, where that is a big deal, that they cannot allow that to get to the public. But let's just put her on a regular ship that has no Jedi on it for security, just droids driving out in the middle of space. It made no sense. And that whole sequence was my least favorite part of the show so far, because there was just no logic why the Jedi, who are capturing a top-tier captive in their eyes, is a former Jedi who left the Order, who killed another Jedi. That's a big deal, both politically and obviously for the Order themselves. But let's just send her with a batch of other prisoners with no Jedi help, and they're just going to leave her and trust that the droids are going to make it there. It made no sense. I did not like that part of the episode, which was, I think, the first episode. I think Stenberg and Jung-jae have very good chemistry together. Obviously, they have to, Osha and Soul, because they are master and apprentice, and hopefully that gets brought up. We did not get that much Jedi action, which I like for May's character, but other than that, we didn't really see Soul, Yord, Jackie Lon, or Osha get into anything Force. Obviously, Osha is struggling with the Force, as we saw in that thing, which obviously made it obvious they were dealing with twins, because May used it very effectively. May is the most fascinating part of the show to me right now. The fact that she is working under this very mysterious villain who could be an all-time Star Wars villain based off the build-up so far. We have the fact that she's on a 4 Jedi revenge path, including we get the cliffhanger. We're going to get the Wookiee Jedi moving forward, who, of course, is played by Jonas Suotamo. Hope I'm saying his name right. He is the one who played Chewbacca in the sequel trilogy after Peter Mayhew passed away, as well as Solo playing this new Kel Naka, this Wookiee Jedi, who we've seen Wookiee Jedis on both Clone Wars, Rebels, and Bad Batch, but I'm very excited to see a Wookiee Jedi finally hit the live-action screen. But May is on this Jedi revenge path where she cannot use a lightsaber to kill these people. I find the mythology around this revenge path interesting, and I find the revenge path itself fascinating. What would someone do? Why does 4 Jedi need to be killed? And it's fascinating that every time May starts a fight with the Jedi, she wants them to attack her, which is obviously something that a Jedi is not supposed to do. But in her eyes, she was attacked without question by the Jedi. So I find that interesting. I think Osha is, again, interesting. Obviously not as interesting as May, in my opinion. I hope we get more fleshing out with Osha and Soul, and more with Osha and Jackie, who's played by Daphne Keane. And again, also the Jedi are also idiots. Sorry, towards the end of the second episode, where they have a clear pathway to where they know exactly where May is going. I mean, Soul's like, we know where she's going. She told us the four Jedi. We know the four Jedi that she's trying to kill. We know where they all are. And then Burnett's just like, actually, we need you to come back to Coruscant so we can talk about that. And again, the Jedi were not smart people based on the prequels. I'm sorry to defend the prequels, especially Revenge of the Sith, but Jedi are stupid. A lot of reason why the Jedi fell was because they made a lot of idiotic decisions, and it made no logistical sense why Soul and Osha find out where she's going. There is clearly a pathway to find her. And the Jedi are like, actually, come back here so we can kill time while May's probably going to kill another Jedi. It didn't make any sense. I hope they, I like that Soul was disappointed by it, but he should be, because it was a stupid decision for the Jedi to do that. So, you're getting my couple rants on some of the stupid, idiotic Jedi decisions that have already happened in this show. But so far, I've liked the show. I'm excited for more lightsaber action because, again, this is Jedi in their prime. And while May can't use a lightsaber, I do think in a show where Jedi are supposed to be in their prime, I want to see some lightsaber duels. Like, I just want to see it at some point. It's gotten set up in the trailers. I'm waiting for it. I'm not going to badmouth the show because I haven't seen one in the first 2 of 8 episodes, but overall, I've enjoyed the show. I think some of the performances are quite excellent. I don't think some of them are kind of flat. So the overall twin twist is pretty flat, but the heart of the twist of being twins and then not knowing that they were alive, it set completely different pathways for themselves based on the fact that they thought the other twin was dead. I find fascinating, and May's whole mythology of why she's not using weapons, who she's working for, I find it interesting. So I think we're off to a solid start to the show, not a great start, but I'm here for new Star Wars, especially in a timeline we have not explored in any show so far. So let me know your thoughts. Sorry that's a long review. What are your thoughts on the Acolyte's first 2 episodes? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you guys.